What's up, everybody? It's Kendra, the Maverick Girl, and yeah. So it's been a little while since I moved back into my new place here in Orlando, Florida, and I wanted to kind of give another little update to kind of explain where I'm at, where this channel's at, and talk about just a bunch of different things. You obviously probably saw it from the title in the description and everything, but I am going on a pretty lengthy hiatus from video content, and this includes not just on YouTube, but streaming as well. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But, so basically, there's been a lot happening. There's a lot going on, obviously, in the world. I made a video 3 months ago now, right before I moved back out here, kind of describing what my situation was like, and just talking about a few different things. Well, and my videos have been kind of jumbled recently, and there's been a lot of bouncing around, and different things that I'm saying between them because I'm bouncing around so much. So I kind of wanted to set this record straight. What's going on? First and foremost, I am I mentioned it before. Everything going on in the world right now is causing me to have a lot of just mental health problems. And this just includes general life things, anxiety, stress, as well as what's the other thing? All this pandemic stuff and the uncertainty with it, the political climate, which again, I'm not really gonna get too deep into that, but it is a very relevant thing that's going on in the world, in the country. Where I am, the U.S. There's other things too. For those of you who may not know, I am actually transgender. And I am on HRT. I have been on HRT for 7 years now, a little over that. But I ran into some issues with my medication at the beginning of the pandemic and was off of my meds for months, which is very problematic for a lot of reasons. But I just finally got back on my meds, so yay. But essentially I didn't, that caused a lot of mental strain as well. So as well as physical problems. I was not getting enough sleep, and it's just been exhausting. I've been back on my meds for a little over a week now, so I'm starting to feel the effects, and it's working out for me pretty well so far. But it's going to take time for me to really start to see the effects, to really adapt and adjust to them. But there's a couple other things. So let's talk about the first one. First one being that Magic's just been in a rough spot. Obviously, Magic is the content that I'm known for and am interested in producing the most content for. Here's the thing, though. Talk about Magic, playing Magic, it's exhausting and it's anxiety-inducing because all everybody's doing is jumping down each other's throats, and it's just... I do think there's a lot of genuine, valid criticisms, concerns with the community at large, wizards, and other things like that. But I feel like there's just only so much that I personally can take. And I mentioned this before, I think, in the last video. I didn't go back and rewatch it to get notes or anything, so I'm kind of just winging this, and just the explanation got some very small minor notes in front of me. But it's gotten to the point where I have anxiety even jumping into a simple game of Magic. Now, when I'm there, I'm there, and I'm having a great time. Eternal Weekend was this past weekend, and I went 7-3 in Legacy playing a deck that I've never actually realistically, like, seriously played. It was Elves, but I figured both I had enough experience with it, or with Elves in Pauper, which is relatively similar with a lot of lines to Legacy Elves, and had enough familiarity with Legacy in the past that I could pretty well adapt to it. I playtested with a friend for a few hours on Saturday. He only had lands, one deck, so it didn't give me a good overview of the whole field, but it gave me enough time to play on my own. I felt more confident with it, and I went through, and I had a great time. It was, like, stressful, but fun. But in the week since, I haven't played much Magic. I haven't really had a desire to play Magic. And that sucks, because I was really riding a serious high during the entirety of Eternal Weekend, where I'm like, I'm going to play more Magic. I'm super excited. I love Magic. It's just a lot, though. And it's taking a lot out of me. And not only is it that, but there's also just my general workload, which is kind of like the next thing I'm getting into. So the first thing is, obviously, I work now a typical J job, but between the actual work hours, my lunch breaks, and my commute, I'm basically working 48 hours a week and a warehouse type position. And then on top of that, I'm writing my articles, which takes another couple hours a week. It varies from week to week. Some weeks are, I can write an article in an hour and a half. Some weeks it takes 4 or 5 hours, maybe even longer sometimes. And I think you can really tell when it takes me so much longer, because the articles are far more in depth. But, that's what you do, right? Sometimes they're just like, hey, I gotta get this week's article out. But then sometimes, you have something that you're passionate about and want to go really deep on it and talk about it. So you do that. But you just gotta think, okay, that's another couple hours. And then on top of that, I do some other data entry type work on the side, which adds another couple hours. Thankfully, that work got lessened, where before I was actually working like 6 hours a week on that, and that was assuming I wasn't behind. If I was behind, it would just snowball rapidly. Whereas now, if I'm a little behind, it might just, okay, I add an extra hour to my work, essentially. And it helped a lot. The unfortunate thing, though, is with that, first off, that means I'm essentially working somewhere between 50 and 60 hours a week, depending on my actual workloads, and including, obviously, the commutes and even the breaks, because even during the breaks, well, I'm not home sitting around enjoying myself, having a good time. I'm at work still, So, all that time really adds up, is the long and short of it. And the other thing too is that because my work hours that I did for the side gig stuff went down, so too did my financial situation, which was what I was using to also do those booster boxes. And what that's meant is less exceptional or interesting booster boxes, so I don't really have much compiled. This month I bought my brother, because he helped me with a emergency situation that arose in my life. I bought him a box of Zendikar Rising, so okay, that's one less box for me. And then I bought Survival of the Fittest for my cube, because I didn't... When the hell did that thing get to, be a $200+ card? And it's going to keep going up again, and, things like that. I want to make sure I actually got on top of that before it, spiked even further. And that left me with just the one collector's booster this month, and it was a lot. There's other things too, a lot of times I just honestly buy the boxes and sell the cards. Well, standard cards are kind of hard to sell right now because of everything that's going on. nobody really wants standard stuff. They want all the good old Commander stuff that people will buy for their webcam Commander games, and things like that. So it's it's just been a lot. And the other thing too is there's even more. And so when I'm dealing with all this stress, all this everything, there's also the factor of even just posting the videos is very stressful. And I recognize this a lot with the gameplay the gameplay videos. But with those, it was like, okay, now I also have to go through the videos, and I have to find where the matches are, and I have to do there's like a lot of steps, even without any editing, because I just usually upload my videos raw because I don't have the time to learn to edit them, and then to actually edit them. So I was going to just go and just throw the videos up and be like, let's just call it a day, right? No harm, no foul. It's good. The only thing that takes me a little time is I have to make a thumbnail, but that's the thing. I have to make a thumbnail. Okay, now I have to write the description. I have to do all this. But I also have to remember to actually upload the file. That happened to me when I uploaded that collector's booster thing. I forgot to do it. And then that weekend, I was set to drive 2 hours out to Tampa to visit my family again, which I'll kind of come back to in a minute. And I was supposed to leave that Friday evening after work, and my video was supposed to go live for the Collector's Booster box that Saturday. Here's the thing. I forgot to upload the video. And because of that, I needed to actually stop home before I drove out, which took like an extra 30 minutes off of my day. On top of that, I basically, because my current apartment place doesn't have an actual washer dryer, and I don't want to use public services for that right now because of everything that's going on in the world. I'm basically going back and visiting family every couple weeks, and that's just adding more time and more stress. And that's like me having to haul my equipment around, and it's just a lot. It's just a ton of different little things just all over the place, and I just need to ease that workload just a little bit, for a little bit, and kind of give myself a little more time to myself. To that end, there's also the fact of when I was doing these booster box openings, and other things, even the gameplay, video games, Magic, things like that. I found that, like, when I was doing the booster boxes, whenever I bought a booster box, I couldn't enjoy it for myself. I had to do it for YouTube, and I kind of wasn't enjoying it in the moment. I couldn't really sit here and tell you some of the things that I open, most of the things that I opened from those Double Masters boxes. I can't tell you a lot of things that I opened from the Zendikar Rising boxes, just because I didn't get to really experience it personally. It was more like, I experienced it with you all, like on YouTube, which is fine. I love you all. You're great. Thank you for being here and following me and my content. But I couldn't enjoy any of it myself, and I realized that with like my Magic. It always felt like I was doing Magic at this point for someone else rather than myself. Like, if I ever played a game of Magic, like, it felt like there was I needed to turn on the camera. It's like I can't do that all the time. Whenever I was playing a video game or something, it felt like, turn on the camera. I don't want to turn on the camera. So, it's a matter of me just needing to know to step back a little and take a little time for myself. Learn, to do self-care and to be aware of my own mental health and my personal stress levels. I recently saw a therapist, and she was basically like, you're under a lot of stress and dealing with a lot of things between social media and all these jobs and all this other stuff. You're handling it well, but like, you could probably do a little more. So, I'm just trying to take steps to better myself and So as a result, you won't see any sort of video content from me for a while. Now, I'm not going to say, never say never. I am not saying, like, I'm killing this channel. I'm killing my Twitch. I'm killing my YouTube. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that I need a break, and I need a real break. A break where I sit there and actually take the time for myself, sit down, do the things that I kind of want to do, without really having to worry about the content side of things nearly as much. I'm still going to be writing articles every week with CoolStuffInc.com. And, I'm doing a lot of Jumpstart stuff right now. It's a lot of fun. And, and I'm hoping to take some time and actually play some games and have a good time. I've been dealing with a bit of depression as well, frankly, if I'm being real with you all. But, a lot of that's coming from some strain with work. My sleep schedule has been very messy with a lot of bouncing around and doing all this work and everything. So, it's a matter of just needing to get back on track with that. Again, my hormones have been off, so that causes all other issues. So, it's just a matter of getting myself back on track, getting to a point where I'm comfortable with myself, my life, all this other stuff. And I'll be back when I feel comfortable enough, but it's going to be a while, just because I need to take care of myself. Now, I'm not saying that this is like, I also want to iterate, I think, for me personally, I'm not going to say this is going to be like a full hiatus. Like, in the next 6 months or something, I'm never going to upload a video. I'm not going to say that, because I do think I'm the kind of person that likes to get my voice heard and do certain cool things. So if I have something that's really cool, interesting, that I want to show off or do or cover or anything like that, I might make a video for it. I might talk about it. I might do a box opening because, oh, hey, I got a really cool box. Commander Legends is right around the corner. And, really cool things like that. Who knows what I'm going to do with that. But I just need some time to myself. That's kind of the bottom line. And, yeah, that's kind of about it. So, with that having been said, I guess, thank you all for watching. You know where to find me, twitter.com/TheMaverickGirl. And, you follow my articles on CoolStuffInc.com. They go live every Wednesday. And all your support has helped me tremendously. It has helped my living situation personally, and a lot of other things. So, I'm very appreciative of all of the help and the assistance that many of you have just given me over the months, years, whatever. And I hope you'll continue to do so as we go forward. When I do get to the point where I'm feeling comfortable to do more video content, I think I'm probably going to do a little more non-Magic gameplay. But I think it'll probably be a nice little mix. The other cool thing is it'll give me time to get my setups all together so I can have my video game setups ready. I can have my Magic setups ready. I can do a whole bunch of different things. So this is what I'm looking forward to doing, and I hope you will all stick with me. Still continue to be here, subscribed, and check out the videos when I'm back at it in a much more full capacity. So, yeah, thanks everybody, and until then, it's pleasure having you all here, and I will see you all around every so often. This is Kendra, the Maverick Girl. Hope you all have a wonderful evening, wonderful day, wonderful week. If you're in the United States, get out there and vote. Do it. And I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.